Shithead. Let you hang with us because your daddy's a client. You fuck up the first thing.
So here's the latest scoop on the Equalizer. It looks like Denzel Washington won't be reprising his role as Robert McCall after the Equalizer 3. Initially, the third movie was supposed to be the swan song for Denzel and director Antoine Fuqua in this series. But surprise, surprise, the movie's huge success has sparked talk about continuing the franchise. There's been a lot of chatter about how they could pull off the Equalizer 4 with Denzel back in the driver's seat, and Fuqua's recent comments suggest Denzel's decision will be key. Even before ironing out details like the storyline for the Equalizer 4, Fuqua has been talking up the possibility during the press for the Equalizer 3. While he said the Equalizer 3 was intended as the finale, he's also made it clear he'd be game for another round if Denzel's on board. Basically, it boils down to Denzel holding the cards on whether the Equalizer 4 happens. That's got fans hoping he'll cash in on another big payday and come back for more action. Fuqua recently spilled to EW that the Equalizer 4 isn't totally off the table, but there's a catch. Denzel needs to be on board. Despite hinting that this might be the end of the road, Fuqua's not ruling out the possibility entirely. I think this would be it. We both talked about it that way, but who knows? Look, Denzel's in incredible shape. He's training every day. If you saw him now, you'd be amazed. He's like 60 pounds lighter than even during the Equalizer. He's really fit. Yeah, it's all up to him. If he wants to do another one, count me in, but I'm not holding my breath. With that being said, we know Denzel has already confirmed he won't return after the Equalizer 3. Despite leaving the door open for the franchise's future, he made it clear that his time as Robert McCall has reached its conclusion. In an interview with ET before promotional activities were impacted by strikes, Denzel expressed, "This is the end for me. It may not be the end, they may do another one, but it's the end for me." This statement gives a clear indication of Denzel's current stance on the Equalizer 4. Unless there's a significant change of heart, fans should accept that the Equalizer 3 marks Denzel's final portrayal of Robert McCall. While there's always a possibility that Denzel and Fuqua could develop a compelling story that reignites their interest in a fourth installment, it appears this is the only scenario where the Equalizer 4 would proceed with Denzel in the lead role. Denzel himself noted in the same interview that even a hefty paycheck wouldn't sway his decision if he felt the franchise had exhausted its creative potential. Considering Denzel Washington's substantial salary for each Equalizer film and his creative considerations, the likelihood of his return hinges on both his personal motivation and the promise of a fresh and engaging storyline. With that being said, one of the biggest questions looming is how the Equalizer franchise can continue without Denzel. Just because he's not returning for Equalizer 4 doesn't necessarily mean the end of the series. There are potential avenues for continuation, such as spin-offs focusing on Dakota Fanning's character, Emma Collins. As a member of the DIA, Emma could carry on McCall's mission of helping those in need, albeit perhaps with less emphasis on action. This narrative shift could still be compelling and leave room for Denzel to make cameo appearances, maintaining ties to the original series. Another option for the franchise's future is exploring prequel movies. Antoine Fuqua has hinted at discussions about de-aging Denzel for a prequel centered on Robert McCall. Alternatively, casting Denzel's real-life son, John David Washington, as a younger McCall could provide a fresh perspective and new direction for the series. Both of these possibilities offer intriguing paths forward that don't hinge on Denzel's return for the Equalizer 4. Given the steady audience interest in the Equalizer franchise, should the Equalizer 3 be the last one? Both of the previous two movies have been solid box office performers, each earning just over $100 million. While the Equalizer 3's opening weekend box office might be slightly lower than its predecessors, it's still expected to perform well overall. This indicates a consistent audience appetite for the action-packed series, making a potential fourth installment a viable option. However, Denzel Washington, nearing 70 years old, raises questions about the franchise's future. At a certain point, the believability of him taking down criminals with precision may diminish. Although Liam Neeson, at 71, continues his action roles, newer films lack the impact of his earlier work, like Taken. Perhaps wrapping up The Equalizer with a satisfying conclusion in The Equalizer 3, amidst the scenic Amalfi Coast and with new personal connections, could be more fitting than pushing for The Equalizer 4. After so much violence and turmoil, allowing McCall a shot at happiness in the upcoming film feels justified, rather than dragging him back into retirement for yet another round of villain slaying in the potential fourth installment. With that being said, there's still a possibility for The Equalizer 4, especially considering Antoine Fuqua's past openness to ideas like digitally de-aging McCall or possibly starring Denzel's son John David. While the option of de-aging McCall seems unlikely now, and casting John David is a distant possibility unless Fuqua has a change of heart, a fourth film could easily continue the story if Washington and Fuqua decide to reunite. The ending of The Equalizer 3, where McCall finds inner peace instead of meeting a tragic fate as some speculated, sets up the potential for another sequel. McCall could embark on a new mission driven by vengeance, with the story simply explaining that retirement didn't suit him. With Collins now established as his ally, she could also seek his help for an operation requiring his unique skills. However, pursuing this direction risks repeating the retirement theme of The Equalizer 3, unless the story finds a fresh angle to keep McCall engaged in the action. If director Antoine Fuqua were to opt for digitally de-aging McCall in The Equalizer 4, it could potentially face backlash from fans. De-aging technology in films has been met with mixed reactions in the past, often criticized for not looking entirely natural or for altering the essence of the character. In the case of a seasoned actor like Denzel, who brings gravitas and authenticity to the role of McCall, digitally altering his appearance might undermine the character's credibility and the continuity established across the previous films. Fans have grown accustomed to Washington's portrayal of McCall as an older, seasoned protagonist whose experiences and wisdom are integral to the character's appeal. Introducing a younger version of McCall through de-aging could disrupt this established connection, potentially alienating longtime fans who appreciate Washington's portrayal as it is. Additionally, there's the risk that focusing on de-aging McCall could overshadow the storytelling and character development. Instead of advancing McCall's story in a meaningful way, the emphasis might shift to the technical aspects of the de-aging process, detracting from the narrative and emotional depth that fans value in the series. While the idea of de-aging McCall might be considered as a way to extend the franchise, it's crucial for filmmakers to weigh the potential creative risks and fan expectations carefully to ensure that any continuation of The Equalizer maintains its integrity and resonates with its audience. So there you have it, discussing the potential paths for The Equalizer franchise beyond its third installment brings up intriguing possibilities and challenges. Whether Denzel returns as McCall or new avenues are explored with spin-offs and prequels, the future of the series hinges on balancing innovation with honoring its established fan base. As always, your thoughts on where the franchise should go next are welcome in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates and insights on your favorite films and series. Thanks for watching.